Not everyone in your life deserves the same level of access to you, and people who drain you should not be in your circle. Today I'm going to talk about how to recognize who deserves access to you and who doesn't. I've noticed that people who add more stress to your life get more access than people who add peace. When you overextend your hand for people who do the bare minimum, you literally get people that don't deserve you. Meanwhile, the people that support you get the leftovers of your time. Like literally you're draining your energy to someone that stresses you out because you're giving so much energy to that person to the point where you forget the people that actually add on to your peace, people that are actually there for you. Sometimes you have to recognize that the people that stress you out don't deserve your energy. Save your energy for the people that will show up for you. Save that energy for the people that will be there for you when you call them, not the people that always need you. Like I feel like sometimes when you are a person that cares for people, or like I keep saying, empathetic person, you tend to be around people that stress you more than the people that even like care about you. You give all your energy to the person that stresses you out. I don't know what it is. I think we are just helpers by nature. We just want to help people. We just want to be empathetic people. We want to be understanding, but sometimes literally you're basically stressing yourself out for no reason because that person will not show up for you the way you show up for them. It would be different if it's reciprocated, but if it's not reciprocated, that's how you know for sure this person is stressing you out and you need to protect your peace and give your energy to the people that actually show up for you. I've noticed that the people that stress you out the most has the most amount of boundaries. Like they're the type of people that would say, no, I can't do this. No, I can't do that. But then once you say, no, you can't do that, it's like the end of the world. Like literally you did something so detrimental to them. Like it's like, you could not say no. How dare you say no? So that's how you know that person is just not meant to be in your life. Personally, I learned to cut people off. Like I'm not taking that 2026. I left that back in 2025. You act the wrong way. You are mad because I said I can't do something, when simply when I ask you to do something, you can say no loud and boldly. I left that in 2025. I'm not going to take that anymore. So the first thing is, people who add stress to your life get more access than the people that add more peace. You have to understand, people that are peaceful, they don't need much from you. They don't even want to bother you. You know, I'm the type of person, I don't want to bother you. If I can do it myself, I can do it myself. Unless you're my man, like my man, I always bother him. I'll be like, babe, can you do, babe? Any inconvenience, I call him. And I'm like, babe, if you don't want to do it, you could always let me know you don't want to do it. But I'm talking about other people, like people that don't deserve my time. I'm not going to stress myself over something, because if you can't do it, you're simply going to tell me you can't do it. That's the thing I just don't like. I dislike. If you can't do something, you're boldly going to tell me no. But then as soon as I say no, it's a red flag. It's like, oh my gosh, how dare you say no? The person that stresses you out the most needs you the most. A peaceful person is an understanding person. If the person asks you, hey, can you do X, Y, and Z? And you're like, oh, I'm so sorry, I can't do it. And the person is like, oh, okay, I understand. That's cool. Like that's someone that you want to keep around you, someone that understands you when you say, no, I can't do this. But the person that just keeps taking away from you, I feel like that person needs you the most. I'm not saying that everyone that needs you the most is someone that does not deserve access to you unless it's being reciprocated. If it's being reciprocated, that's a different situation. I'm not going to say cut that person off, because that person shows up for you and you also show up for that person. If it's you always showing up for that one person, there's no need for you to actually give them access to you. That's what I think. I shouldn't give my full undivided attention to someone that confuses me, or someone that drains me, or someone that doesn't reciprocate the same energy, or someone that just constantly makes me question myself, like, am I good enough? Or, did I even do a good job? This person didn't even, thank me for the things that I did, or the things that I do for this person. This person has not even thanked me once. Those are the type of people that you don't want around you. A friend that only calls you when they need something. I feel like I'm guilty for this. I'm not gonna lie. Back then I used to like call one of my friends and just vent about like whatever I was going through, and like I did ask her how she was doing and all of that, but I felt sometimes I was just a little too needy, and it was like just about my problems. Like I just noticed that like this is kind of too much. Back then I would like apologize. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I just feel like sometimes I just need a vent, or I just need to talk to you about this, or I had to stop doing that. I think with time and growth, I learned shortly that this is not right. I shouldn't just keep calling her and like expressing my life. And I think I had a conversation with her. She was like, oh no, it's fine. Like she understood where I was coming from. It's like back then, like things were always happening to me. So I always felt the need to like vent something, vent to my friend. And I just felt like every single time I called her, it was just like things that happened in my life. And it was just like, why is it only things that happen in my life? Why can't I just call her and we probably talk about Instagram, or we talk about like something, like talk about something. So like I stopped doing that, and I'm just so glad that I'm in a place in my life where I don't like, I'm so thankful my life is peaceful now. But like, because I stopped doing a lot of things, I think that's why my life is peaceful. Back then, I used to care about what people say. I used to care about like a lot of things. Like I was just always in my head. I stopped doing that. Like I stopped just calling that my friend for problems. Like now, like I call her, check up on her. I do check up on her. Like when I called her, I'd be like, hey, I hope you're doing well, da da da. But then I just get to my problem. But it's like, I can't do that. But now I'm learning. But now my life is a little bit more peaceful. But she was really understanding. She was like, okay, like I understand where you're coming from. Like you have to understand, like nothing really happens in my life. So I'm okay with you explaining or venting or however. But like the point is, like I expressed that to her because I noticed, like, I had to check myself. So sometimes you have to check yourself, before you check others, check yourself too. Do an analysis. Try to like go back and reflect. I like to reflect. Every year or every month or every week, sit down and reflect upon the things that you've done or the things that you said. Just think about, your life. Sometimes you have to sit down and think. I just wanted to say that a friend who only calls you when they need something. So I feel like I was guilty of that. I stopped doing that shortly because I realized like, this is not fair. How would I feel if someone just called me? And I feel that because people do that sometimes to me. And I realize like, why do you just call me for your problems? You just talk about yourself. And I don't like that. I need to stop doing that myself. So I stopped doing it. So thank God. I think it's just a phase where you go through. It's a learning curve. And it's like once you start knowing more, you start doing better. Second thing is consistency matters more than effort. I don't know if you guys heard of the breadcrumb theory, where like a person will just give you enough effort. They don't have to give you too much, but they just give you just the right amount of effort just to make you feel like seen, heard, and like present. I don't know if that makes sense, like present in that moment. So like, let's say for example, like today I'm going to give you just enough attention. So then tomorrow I can do the same thing and then do just enough just to make you feel comfortable or make you feel seen. I don't know if that makes sense, but if you look it up, I'm going to study more on the breadcrumb theory so you guys can understand, because I recently read it a couple of days ago and I was like, oh, this is so familiar. So breadcrumb theory is basically the person will just give you the right amount of attention so then you don't feel bad. Like you don't feel as though that person is inconsistent. Yeah, so some people will do the right thing occasionally or just enough to keep your place in your life. I don't want to say narcissistic because I don't know, but like people that are just manipulative will do that, and it's really bad. Like that's not something you want to do to people. That's like uncalled for, and it's just something you just don't want to do. Like that's really bad. Some people do it like maybe subconsciously, they don't even realize they do it, and some people just do it on purpose. Like literally they know what they're doing and they'll just give you just enough so then, you know what I'm saying, they could still have access to you. So you kind of have to use your wisdom and discernment to realize like what is consistency and what is like inconsistency. Like you have to know the difference between consistency, a man that is consistent or a woman that is consistent, or a friend that is consistent, a family member that is consistent, rather than someone that is inconsistent and want to, show you love sometimes or just show you the right enough of love so then you don't run away from their lives. Like that's kind of crazy. Access is earned through consistency, not occasional moments that make you doubt your reality. They disappear for weeks, come back with emotional stories or apologies, and then restart the relationship every single time. When you communicate a need and someone is able to adjust to your need, they actually value you. You have to understand, like they're not gonna sugarcoat. They're not going to like try to convince you to change your mind or anything like that. No, they don't do that. When you set a boundary and someone gets defensive, they value control. Like they literally want control of your life. That's how you know the difference. Your limits reveal their emotions. Each time you set a boundary, you know where you and that person stand. That's one thing I learned in 2025 and also I am learning in 2026. Each time you set a boundary, people don't like that. It leaves a sour taste in their mouth because you set a boundary. And that's how you know if that person deserves to be in your life or not. If they're okay with your boundary, cool. They don't have no problem. If they're not cool with your boundary, oh my gosh, you'll see it. You'll feel it. you'll feel it. Anyone who loses access because you set a boundary was never there for the healthy version of you. For example, if you say, I can't always be available last minute, they call you selfish, distant, and changing. That reaction tells you everything you need to know. That's all I gotta say. Literally, when you tell someone your boundary and like, oh, hey, I don't like the fact that every single time something happens, you tell me last minute. I keep telling you, when you set a boundary, you know exactly where you and that person stand. Comment down below which one you're struggling with. I want to know which one you guys are struggling with. And also comment down below who's someone you realize no longer deserve the same level of access to you. I think the third one relates to me the most. I used to keep people that didn't respect my boundaries. Like literally, I would tell them, this is my boundary and I can't do something, and I would say it in the nicest way possible. Like, I'll be super respectful to the point where like they would get so pissed. Like, I would just tell you like, no, I can't do this. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, is it really you that's saying it, or is it the people that you're around, to the point where you're not even believing in my own, like, my own decisions. Like, you're literally thinking it's the people that's around me. And this is like a family member. Like, each time I set my boundary to that person, they always think someone else is influencing me or whatever the case may be. And it's not even that. Just because I was like a quiet kid growing up, that does not mean when I grow up I can't speak up for myself. That does not mean that I can't have a voice. I feel like when you grow up, I don't know if this is like African home or whatever the case may be, and you are like the quiet good child, never spoke back or never said anything to your parents, when you grow up and you have your own mind and you set your boundary, is like, oh my gosh, how dare you. So I used to keep people around me that did not respect my boundary, and now I'm like, I'm not taking that no more. Once I understand that you don't respect my boundary and I'm like a grown up, like I'm growing up and stuff like that, I'm having my own life, I'm building my own life, I'm figuring out my own life, and you can't be there to assist me or, guide me in the right decision. You're just like, want to have control over me when I tell you like my boundary. There's really no point for me to be like giving you access to me. People that respect your boundary will move closer. That's what I wanted to write. But yeah, that's one thing I'm learning. And as I'm growing, I'm becoming the best. I want to become the best version of myself. And if you can't respect my boundary, I don't know why I have you in my life. That's just my ideology. Family is a very touchy subject. I don't like to tell people what to do in their own family. I always say like to go seek help, maybe figure out with a therapist, whatever the case may be. But for me personally, the way I deal with it and the way I cope now, back then I used to give benefit of the doubt, give people so many chances, but now it's like no more chances. I need to live my life. Each time I go back to someone that, keeps bringing me down or keeps, never respecting my boundary, I keep drowning myself, and I can't keep drowning. So that's one thing I relate to here. Comment down below which one you guys relate to, and I'll see you guys in the next.